Okay, so it's a few minutes after, but we'll record this so anyone who comes a little bit later, they'll still get to see everything. So, hi there. My name is Anna. I'm your community manager at Pinterest. This is our second event of 2025, and we have people from all over joining us. We've got some people in Canada and India, California, and wherever you are. Again, please let us know in the chat where you are. I love knowing that everyone's from all over the place. It's really cool. So please let us know in the chat. I'm super excited that you could all be here today. So thank you so much for coming. In a moment, I'm going to introduce you to my colleague, Breno, who is an expert at the topic of today's event, which is getting started with ads. Before today, I included a Q&A link on the event invitation, and we're going to answer as many of those questions as we can after sharing some awesome tips. So if you didn't have a second to submit your question, feel free to drop it in the chat. And if for some reason we don't get it today, you're more than welcome to post it on the PBC as well. I'm going to drop a link to the event post in the PBC, and I'll pin that if you want to answer or if you want to ask some questions that maybe we can hopefully get to at the end. And also, this event is going to be recorded and shared with you via email within the next few days. So before we get started, again, if you could type in the chat, who has run a campaign on Pinterest before? If you're shy, that's okay. All right. Thank you, Hannah. Well, if you are someone who has, or if you have not, you are still in the right place. If you want more tips and some guidance, you're also in the right place. We're so happy to have everyone here. So I would like to introduce to you now our support specialist, Breno, who's going to be sharing some wonderful tips for getting started with ads and how to make your profile as awesome as possible to get your campaigns going. So without further ado, welcome, Breno.
Hi, everyone. Hope you're all having a good day. Thanks, Anna, for inviting me. I'm happy to be here again with the PBC. And hopefully today we can cover the most important steps that you need to take when it comes to setting up your account and start running your ads here at Pinterest. So I'm Breno. I've been a support specialist here at Pinterest for the past 4 years. I work close to tickets and issues related to all types of Pinterest products. And today we're going to talk about some more technical basic steps that you need to set up prior to start running your ads here at Pinterest. So jumping into our agenda on today's webinar, we wanted to cover these 3 main topics. So first one is getting started, where we will go over all the main points you need to set up and keep in mind before anything. So that's pretty much just creating your account, setting up your profile, your billing information, until the actual moment you run your first campaign. And then we jump into a section on about resources and all the next steps to give you some guidance on what else you can do to grow successfully on Pinterest. And finally, at the end, like Anna mentioned, we'll have some time for a Q&A where we'll go over some pre-submitted questions, but also if you have any other questions, just pop up during the presentation on the Q&A, and then we'll try to cover it by the end of the presentation. So let's jump into the content. The first thing that I wanted to cover here is what we call the advertiser journey, which are some steps that most of our clients follow when they want to start running ads here at Pinterest. If we want to summarize all the main and first steps that you need to keep in mind prior to start running your ads, we can put it in 5 main sections. So the first one is create and edit your business account. So prior to do anything, you will need to have what we call the business account. So this is where you keep all your business and advertiser information. There are a few ways to come up with your business account, which we'll also cover further in this presentation. The second step would be for you to set up and edit your profile. So this is a more general step where you add all the information needed so that your profile reflects what you want to show to Pinterest users. Then after you have your business profile and everything set up on your side, you need to set up what we call the ad account, which can be 1, 2, 3. This will depend on your business objective and needs. Each ad account can manage multiple campaigns, and they will also have unique countries, billing information, and other varieties if you decide, of course, to have more than one. Then the fourth step would be to set up your billing and payment information. So we will also cover how you can add this information to your ad accounts and other few considerations that you need to keep in mind when adding anything when it comes to the billing side on Pinterest. After we go through all these 4 steps, you'll have then an active ad account, and you can then run your first campaign. Just keep in mind that today's webinar is not really focused on all the performance and particularities of a campaign, but we will go briefly through the campaign setup so we can help you at least coming up with your first campaign. This slide is just to illustrate a bit what I said earlier and make sure everyone is on the same page in terms of account levels and what's under what. So as you can see, we have the business account over everything. So ideally for your business, you can have only one business account, for example, and you should be able to manage multiple ad accounts and campaigns under this very one business account. Then under the business account, we have the ad account, which, as I said, can be more than one, more specific, up to 50 ad accounts under just one business account. Under each ad account, you can set up different campaigns, and within each campaign, we'll have the ad groups that can have some specific settings, so you can change like the demographics, the creatives, the audiences within each ad group. These are all things that you are able to set up on an ad group level. And finally, each ad group can have multiple creatives, which in this case will reflect as ads, or as we call promoted pins. On today's workshop, we'll go over many of these concepts. So I just wanted to make sure there wasn't any confusion with the names, because I know sometimes it can be a bit similar. So jumping into our first main topic, which is creating and editing your business account. So at Pinterest, you are able to create and set up a free business account. So this way you can get access to some features such as the analytics, where you can find a lot of resourceful information over your pin's activities, and also gain the ability to, of course, run your ads. When it comes to ways we currently have for you to create your business account, there are mainly 2. So the first one we highlighted there is create a new business account from zero. So you're not really linking it to any account. You'll be creating it from scratch. The second option would be to actually convert your personal account to a full business account. So you'll keep all the followers, the pins, but your account will be then fully business. Also keep in mind that for this type, you can always convert it back to a personal account whenever you want. And the main differences between these 2 options that I showed there is that the first one, so creating the business account from scratch, is the only option that you won't really need to use as an existing Pinterest account. So you won't be linking it to any profile, just the one that you are creating from zero. While the other option, so converting your account to business, you can always go back to a standard personal account if you want. Now I'll just go over some very basic steps for each type of business account creation, where I will show you the steps that you can take within the option that you choose for your business. So the first one, which is creating a new business account from zero, all you have to do is first access pinterest.com/login. You can then click on create a business account on the bottom of the page, just like in the video there. And then from there, you enter, again, like the video, your email, password, all the other information that is requested. And then you click on create your account. You see that for this part forward, all the business account creations will follow a very similar pattern. So you need to add some information like in the video there about your business, select whether you're planning on running ads or not. And by the time you fill all this information, you should have your business account ready to go. So the second option to create your business account is pretty much converting the personal account that you already have to a full business account. So all you need to do is to access the personal account that you already created, you already have your follows and everything. And then from there, you go to more options, which is an option that appears on the left bottom of the page. And then you just click on account manager on the left side of the screen, similar to the video there. And then you see an option called convert to business account. So you just click there. They're going to ask for the same information that appeared on the other video about your business. and then you pretty much just have your account converted to business. And also, just to reinforce, I went through these two options here just to show you the two possible ways you have to come up with your business, because I know that different accounts have different scenarios. So maybe you already have your account with Pinterest and you just want to convert it, or you're just thinking about creating one. So maybe you're just creating one from the scratch. But you definitely don't need to go over these two options that I showed you. Just pick whatever is best for your business and whatever fits you better, and just go with it. There aren't really difference when it comes to the business part of both of the processes that I've just shown. So after you have your business profile, you can then set up your account and add all the information needed so that it really reflects your business and the message that you want to share, right, with all the users on Pinterest. For this part, I highlighted two main things, which are claiming your website and personalizing your profile. So the first point here is claiming your website. So if you want to summarize what this concept is, it's pretty much you telling Pinterest that your website is really yours, so that no one else adds your website to their profile on Pinterest. So by doing this, you will have access to many other features, and you also have more visibility into the analytics from pins published from your website, and also from pins that other people created through your website. It also gives users more information about business, as your website will also start appearing on your profile on Pinterest as well. Just to go over some of the features that you'll have after you claim your website. So like I said, you have visibility on analytics for pins that were created through your site. Since we will have visibility on your website, we will also have more retargeting capabilities. If you're a business that work with some type of product catalog, so you work with products, you want to ingest your product catalog into the platform, you will need to claim your website so that you can put your products on the platform. The same thing happens for a format that we have called collections. So if you ever run into this format and you want to use it, you also need to have your website claimed. And we can also expect a few other things to impact on your profile. So your profile picture will show up next to your pins. The follow button will also start appearing next to your account. And you also have a verification mark on your profile, which will pretty much depend on the type of business you are. So a few other things that will help you drive people not only to your website, but also to your Pinterest profile. I will not get into too many technical details on how exactly you can claim your website, because we already have 2 other video trainings where we go over many other details on this topic. So please make sure to take a look on those trainings. They are also on the Pinterest business community. There you'll find some more information on how exactly you can set this up. It should also be a very simple process. But again, you can always reach out to our support team to help you in case you do encounter any issue while claiming the website on your site. Then after you have claimed your website, or this step, you can actually do it before. It doesn't really matter which one you're doing. You can edit your profile so that it reflects all your business identity. This is a pretty standard step for all other platforms that you already use throughout life, I would say. So on your public profile, you can edit your profile photo, edit your profile cover. You can edit your name that will be displayed on your profile, add a bio to describe your business. You can also have the option to add the pronouns if that's applicable for your business. Or you can also edit add the website that you added. You can change your username. You can add your business email address. So there's a lot of information that you can populate there to drive in more engagement to your profile on Pinterest. And again, this should be a super simple and an easy step to set up as well. It's very straightforward. Just expanding the video from the last slides. All you need to do is pretty much access the settings on your profile and just start filling up that information. So here I was just adding the profile cover, and then I jump into the settings piece and start adding the information that I want to reflect on my profile. So now that you have your business profile ready to go, you already claimed the website, you already added all the information, you can then create the ad account. And this is where you're going to create all the campaigns when you start running your ads here at Pinterest. So just to share some context, you can create multiple ad accounts under your business profile. That's actually up to 50, like I mentioned before. So the steps to create your ad account after you already have your business account are also super simple. So on your new business account, you see an option called Assets on the top of your screen under business name. So you just click there and access the business manager, just like in the video there. Your business manager page will open, and then from there you want to go to the ad account section. And then on the ad account section, you just need to click on create an ad account and fill out the information requested. There isn't much to fill. I just wanted to bring some attention to this part specifically. Just be careful in setting up your country, because this has a direct relation with the currency that will appear on your account. Some countries, they only have one currency available, and some other countries may have different currencies available. And the country and the currency cannot be really changed after that account is created. So for example, you opt for United States as your account's country. So your currency will be US dollars. And that's not really something that we can change after. Like I said, some countries, I know that there's like 1 or 2 or 3 types of currencies that you can pick. It depends on the option. But again, if you want to use a different currency after you already created the account, you just need to make sure you set up, again, when you're creating the new account, set up with the proper country that you want, with the proper currency. But also, if you make this mistake, it's not a problem. We can just create a new account and just go from there. You can simply not run ads on the other account, and there won't be any problems. Here we just highlighted some important things to keep in mind when it comes to the account creation. So when creating your account, you'll also be asked about your business information. This will appear on your receipt. So just please make sure to add the information you want to see there. I know that billing receipts are used for tax purpose most of the time. So just make sure that whatever you want to appear there, you're adding on the business information piece. If you want to step up to a next level of your account and start to track conversions or track a specific audience, you need to set up what we call the Pinterest tag. We will provide more resources in the end about the Pinterest tag, but we also did another webinar here in the past about the Pinterest tag. So we have a lot of documents to share about this. But I would say that that will be a next step after you have everything set up and you want to get more visibility over conversions and everything that we're capturing on your account and on your ads. And finally, just to reinforce what I mentioned in the past slide, the country you set up has a direct relation with the currency on your account. So just make sure you keep this in mind when you're creating your account. If not, you just need to create a new ad account. So for this part, I just wanted to give you an idea of the possibilities we have with ads in Pinterest. With all these available countries ready to run ads, you can check the full list of ads availability on our help center as well. But there are multiple countries that you can explore ads for your business. So I would just recommend checking the full list and see whatever fits better for your business goals. So now we jump into our billing and payments section. So this is probably where we get most questions, at least on the sports side. I will cover the most important points, but if you do have any other question, just feel free to add it on the chat there and we'll try to go over by the end of the presentation. So as I said, in order to activate your ad account, to actually start running your ads, you will need to fill your business and billing information. If you don't fill that information, your ad account will be called as inactive, as we see internally. So you actually won't be able to run any ads without actually putting that billing information to your account. So I wanted to start from the very basic, explaining how our billing process works here at Pinterest. And there are 2 main points on this. So the billing thresholds and what we call the billing frequency. So the billing thresholds are the amount of spend that when reached will trigger a charge to your account by the end of that day. So just to give you one example, let's say your first billing threshold was $50, meaning that when you start running your first campaign, whenever you reach that $50 mark, you will be charged. This can take 1 day or it can take 30 days. It will depend on how you're planning, right, to spend on your ads. So for example, you're running a campaign that spent $50 in only 1 day. So in the end of that day, you will be charged. Or let's say you ran a campaign for a whole week and you spent $60. So that's $10 more, right? So you'll first be charged for those $50 as this was your current billing threshold. And the remaining $10 that were left, they will be allocated to your next charge, which will have also a different threshold. So as you pay your bills, your billing threshold will start to increase throughout time. So for your second charge, you can expect something a little bit higher than $50 that you started with. Now, when it comes to billing frequency, as I said, this will depend on how many times you reach your billing threshold. So you can reach one or just multiple times during the month. And if you don't reach your threshold within a month, we'll just charge you the remaining amount that is left. So let's say I had this $10 left. I ended up not spending, so I didn't reach my next threshold. So those $10, if I don't spend within a month, they will be charged by the end of the day after the 30 days. So we receive some questions where users are very confused with the amount that they're being charged because they're not following specific patterns. And usually that's because of the thresholds and how it changes with time. So now that you understand how our billing system works, I wanted to give you some tips on how you can manage your spend. So it's important to know how to manage the spend because there can be some confusions in the beginning as you're like getting to get more used to the platform. So we really want to avoid any unwanted charges, which can be a bit common in the beginning if you're not very familiarized with the tool. So it's very important to know how to check your monthly spend, right? So that you can check the thresholds and everything. This is for you to pretty much just keep track on how much you already spent during the past month. All you need to do is just access the reporting section on Ads Manager, which is on the interface of your ad account. And then from there, you'll see some filters. So all you need to do is just move the filters to 30 days. This way, you'll see how much you spent in the last 30 days. You can also set daily and lifetime budgets to your campaigns. To give you some context, when setting up your campaign, you can choose to either spend on a daily frequency, so you pick a specific amount to spend and be reached every day, or you can spend on a lifetime frequency, which will take your full budget and distribute during the amount of days that you set up your campaign to perform. So the spend limits will definitely help you to have more control over what your campaign is spending so that you don't really get lost on what's spending and what campaign is spending what. I think it always gets to this point where advertisers can get a bit confused if they have like multiple campaigns. So it's always good to have those spend limits to kind of so that you can track it down a little bit easier. And also this can be set up directly on the campaign. So whenever you're creating your campaign, you see the spend limits that you can put on the create flow. Now we're going to talk about how you can update your business and payment information, which I briefly mentioned before. So if you haven't added this already, this should be a super quick and simple as well. All you need to do is just click on the billing section. On the billing page, you'll see most resources related to billing that we have on Pinterest. So you can go directly to payment settings. On this page, you see the option to add your business information. So just click there and add all the information you want to provide. Also, just a reminder that this information is what's going to reflect on your receipt. So just make sure that all the information that you want there is added to these fields. And as soon as you add the business information, you see the option to add your payment information, which I won't get into too many details. The process is pretty much the same. So you just go ahead and add your credit card details. The option, it's right next to the business information. You can also add a backup credit card for this. So in case your first card fails for some reason, you already have a backup credit card for that. And just one thing here, we may charge a very small temporary amount just to verify your card, but don't worry, there shouldn't be any charges on doing this. It's a free process that's pretty much just for verification, and we should return it very soon. So, and you're just going to be charged really when you start running the campaign, so not really at this point. Another thing that's very important to talk, that's also related to payment information, are the accepted cards that we have. I think most cases that I see on the support side, they're usually on this section here. Usually clients, they are trying to add cards that we don't accept, or maybe using a type of method that we don't really accept. So I just wanted to list there so everyone had this very clear in their heads. So we accept all these cards that are listed there. So American Express, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Revolut, and all the others that are listed on our help center. Direct debits is an option that at the moment is only available for some countries with euro as the currency. You can access the help center for the full list of countries as well. Prepaid cards are now available on Pinterest. This has been quite recent, but it's limited to specific countries. So if you are interested in using your prepaid card, just make sure you verify the help center and see if your card follows all the requirements that we have for that. And when it comes to methods that we don't accept, sometimes it's even more important to highlight the methods that we don't accept. Well, we don't really accept PayPal or any other card that is not listed on the Help Center. So what I recommend here is just to always check the Help Center article on the accepted cards. Even I like to verify myself when I'm troubleshooting a credit card case. There's constantly changes to what we accept. We're constantly trying to improve and get more methods to make sure we're able to that all the advertisers are able to set up a proper billing method. But again, if you have questions, issues, or concerns on this, we have a full support team to help you set this up. So if you are trying to add your payment information or you're having issues with a specific piece, just reach out to our support team, and then we can try to clarify what can be affecting with your billing. Finally, you can always check your billing history, which you'll have all the information about your previous charges. So you can access your receipts and see all the history of your charges. You'll have the information about the amount that you were charged and the respective campaigns that's attributed to. This can also be found on the billing section on Ads Manager, right under billing history. So let's say you got a charge from Pinterest, you're not 100% sure what campaign that's related to. If you access this page, you should be able to see the exact amount that you were charged, and you should be able to find the campaign IDs of all the campaigns that made that spend. So if you want to go even further, you can access the reporting page, check the campaign, see if the amount that the campaign spent really matches with the amount that you were charged. But it's very straightforward on how you can verify what campaigns spend what. So finally, you have created your business account, you have set up your profile, created your ad account, and activated by adding your payment information. Now you're finally ready to run your first campaign at Pinterest. So as I said, today we're not covering all the specifications on the campaign setup. That's not the main goal. It's just to give you a quick overview on the things you need to add in order to activate your first campaign. I definitely recommend you to go through some of the articles we list in the end of the presentation, but also keep posting on next events that we may have. We hope to cover other best practice like this in the future as well. So jumping in to the first steps when it comes to creating your campaign. So here we try to make like a step-by-step, going over all the parts that you need to set up and maybe change and adjust when you're creating a campaign. So the first thing you need to do to create a campaign is access create campaign option using the same drop down we used before. So on the top of your page. Second thing you need to do is just choose your campaign objective. There are multiple campaigns objectives. If you ever ran ads before, you may be familiarized with some of these objectives. And we also have a few Help Center articles that will help you when choosing the best objective for your business. It really varies on what you want to reach. Maybe you want to reach more people. Maybe you want to promote products from your catalogs. So this really varies with your business objective. So in this case, we were creating a consideration campaign, which will focus on getting more people to actually engage, in this case, click on my ad, on my pin. directly on Pinterest. So this would be the main objective of a consideration campaign. Then you need to add a name to your campaign, define the status, whether you want it to be activated right away or you want to keep it paused for a while. Then you need to choose the type of budget that you want to pick. So if you want to spend the exactly amount every day, you can opt for a daily budget. Or if you want to spend a specific amount, but not necessarily the same every day, you can opt for a lifetime budget, which will give our platform more flexibility to allocate your budget within the campaign's flight. Then we jump into an ad group level where you will first define your targeting strategy. There are many targeting options available at Pinterest. You can pick the one that fits better with your business objective. And on the ad group level, you'll also need to choose the optimization and bid strategy, which is the step 6 there. Keep in mind that some of these settings may change considering the type of campaign objective that you're using. So just be aware that this can be slightly different for some cases. So let's say a catalog campaign, you also have the option where you choose what catalog you want to use. So depending on the campaign type you're putting together, it may change one or other thing, but most of the campaign objectives you're going to cross through all these parts that were listed here. Then the last step on the setup will be to select your pins. So we have multiple pin formats that you can test and try. Also make sure to check our formats available on Help Center, which is also listed on the resources at the end. And finally, after you ran your first campaign for a while, you should expect to see some results. So to check the results from your first campaign, all you have to do is just access the reporting page on Ads Manager and you see all the metrics we have there. And then you can just play around with the filters, with attribution windows, and the Ads Manager reporting. It's pretty much where you're going to see all the outcomes of your first campaign. Additionally, again, the focus of the webinar, it's not fully to cover all the nuances and particularities of a campaign, but really to give you some light on these first few moments when you're setting up your account until the actual moments that you create the campaigns. So because of this, I also find it a good opportunity to briefly mention about Performance Plus, which is a product that we launched quite recent. The main goal of Performance Plus is to automatically optimize your campaigns, focusing on generating the best results with a lower setup time, which I think is one of the biggest benefits there. So when you're creating your campaign, you can also opt for using the Performance Plus, and it will optimize multiple parts of your campaign for you. So example, the budget will be optimized, the targeting will be optimized, and a few other things. This will give the algorithm more flexibility to work with the information on your account, which will drive even more powerful results for your campaigns. So if you're interested in using Performance Plus, you can simply activate it on one of the first steps when you're creating your campaign, and it's just going to automatically optimize a few of these things that I mentioned. So sometimes it keeps it a bit broad so that we have more opportunities to reach for better results. So hopefully this whole journey was clear to you. I know that there's a lot of steps here. They're very similar to what we've seen in other setups, but we just wanted to make sure that each part is very clear and simple for you all. Now I will briefly share some next steps and resources that we have in case you still have any questions, or if you're wondering what else you can explore here at Pinterest. So the first thing I would say, besides all of the setup steps that I went through, is to, again, what I mentioned in a few previous slides, set up your Pinterest tag. So this is a piece of code that you will link into your website, and you'll be able to share a lot of resourceful data to Pinterest, which will help us unblock many features and also help you with campaign optimization. So it's pretty much like a piece of code. Other platforms also work with something similar that will be constantly sharing information on the website that will help us create retargeting audiences. We are able to create audiences based on the specific actions that users made on their website. So it's definitely something that if you want to be on Pinterest and increase even more your results, definitely something that you look into adding to your account. Second thing that we can explore are the catalogs. So if you sell products and work with a catalog feed, you can also set this up with Pinterest. So you can either just organically display your products on your profile, which is 100% free, or you can also promote your products with a catalog sales campaign objective, for example. Just make sure you also use our help center. Everything we have documented is there. You should be able to find all the information needed about Pinterest on the articles that are listed there as well. And finally, don't forget to check our best practice on our business blog. It has some really good insights, and I definitely recommend giving a check. It's also linked on the presentation, so when you received, you can always access. So again, on this presentation, you also find all the resources on our help center related to these topics that we covered today. The presentation will be shared after, so we will have access to this as well. But again, don't hesitate to search for any other topic that you're interested on Pinterest, because we should have all this information documented on our help center articles. And finally, these are a few other resources and collateral websites we have. So again, Help Center, as I already mentioned a couple of times. We also have our Developer Center, which is a space for developers. In case your team has any developer, they can definitely use the space. It's a little bit more technical, but it's also super resourceful. Again, our business community, of course, always a place you can use to connect and ask your questions. And finally, our support team, which I'm part of. So on Help Center, you will find a link to open a support ticket and talk directly with our support team that can help you with multiple issues that you may encounter, not only when creating your first campaign, but anything that has to do with Pinterest products. So hopefully this was resourceful for you. And now we'll have some time for the Q&A. So I'll pass back to Anna.
Thank you, Breno. So I really love this training because it's very detailed and easy to follow along. So thank you. So like Breno said, we're going to get to our Q&A section. Before today, I included a link on the event invitation, and we're going to answer as many of those questions as we can. As we go, feel free to ask any other questions you have in the chat. And if you have any questions that we aren't able to get to, feel free to add them to the pinned link in the chat. So first question that was submitted before the event is one that I think is very interesting. And that is there a minimum budget amount needed for a campaign to start delivering?
Perfect. Yeah, that's a question that we get a lot, mostly, of course, for advertisers that are just starting to run ads with us. Sometimes they just want to give it a test and they're not really sure what's our minimum amount. I checked this internally to make sure I had a specific amount to share. We never really look into a very, very low amount, but the actual minimum amount that you can add to our platform nowadays is $2. So if you want to get a straight number there, would be $2. But again, this will depend on your business needs. As long as you have some type of budget there, we do expect that the campaign will spend. When it comes to budget, the main factor that can really affect your campaign's delivery is if you have any type of billing issue, such as, for example, like an unpaid bill. This type of issue can block your ads from spending. So it's important just to note that if you do increase your budget, so if you have a budget that is higher than $2, which is a little bit ideal, you also give the algorithm more ability to expand the reach of your ads. So there isn't a maximum budget. As long as you have a specific budget there, the campaign should spend. But again, if you do increase your budget, it's also expected that that campaign will most likely reach more people and most likely provide more and better results to that campaign with time. So I'm not saying that $2 your campaign will not go into delivery. It should delivery. But imagine that if you provide more budget for the campaign to work with, you just learn faster and most likely start delivering higher results with time.
So Bruno, I have a follow-up. Is that $2 USD a day or for the campaign overall?
That's a day.
Okay.
Yes.
Fabulous. Okay, so here's another. How long should my campaign be running to start performing?
Mm. Okay. Um, so that's something very interesting, because sometimes advertisers, they start running the campaign and they want the campaign to start delivering right after, which I've seen before. Like the campaign was activated in 1 hour, and then the next hour they're already asking if there's any problems or something affecting the campaign. And the answer for this can really vary. The time a campaign takes to ramp up can depend mostly on the campaign objective. So each objective has a specific type of goal, right? So like I said, consideration, we're going to look for specific engagement actions, while for a catalog campaign, for example, we're trying to promote the catalogs, right? Their products. So we can expect lower amount of time for awareness and consideration usually. We would say that for awareness and consideration campaign, it can take to 1 to 3 days to fully ramp up, as we call. But again, for a campaign that depends on conversions, for example, which depends on specific events, then that campaign may take more time, because the goal of the campaign, the goal that the campaign is trying to achieve, may be a little bit harder to get than, let's say, an impression, which we would get for a conversion and awareness. So my recommendation for this is, again, since the answer can vary, is once you activate your campaign, I just suggest you monitor it for the first 2 days or so. If you don't see any spending, just please reach out to our support team, and it will help you understand what can be happening to our campaign. Maybe it's just the ramp up period that is taking a little bit more for a specific type of objective, or maybe that there's really something blocking your campaign to spend, which we can check internally and follow up.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We have a couple of more questions that have just come in during the presentation. So one question is, can boards be transferred to another Pinterest account if a new account is open to claim a second shop?
That's an interesting question. I'm not aware of boards being transferred. I would say that for this one, Anna, maybe we can check internally and follow up.
Perfect.
Because last time, I mean, I've never heard about sharing the boards like this, but maybe it's something that I missed and it's probably available. But we can check and follow up after the webinar.
Sure. Another question is, can service-based businesses run ads?
That's a good question. We do have, and we can share also the Help Center. We have a Help Center article that clarifies all of our guidelines and policy when it comes to running your ads. So we can share this Help Center with you after, so that you understand whether your business fit in one of these categories. And oops, I think Gabby shared. And the main goal here is just to make sure that the ads are following our guidelines and our policy. If it's following, then we shouldn't have any problems running those ads.
Fabulous. Another question is, what product types do the best with ads, if you can share, physical, service, or digital?
Perfect. Yeah. I mean, I come from a more technical side, so I'm not, when it comes to performance and giving advice on what's the best product to run your ads with, I wouldn't say that there is a specific type of product that works best. I don't really have benchmarks here to share in general, but I would say that different products have different objectives sometimes, and what we have on Pinterest is we have multiple campaigns objectives to kind of surface through all these possibilities we have to promote products, right? So I've seen cases, let's say, advertisers that were selling services, that their type of conversion was aiming for leads, for example. So their conversion was making sure that someone was signing up or subscribing on their service. And they were getting great results with that because they were using, let's say, a conversion type of campaign, and they were optimizing for leads. So they were focusing that campaign to look for that specific result. So I don't think there's really a correct answer to the best type. I think that I would say an advantage of physical products is that if you have physical products, most of the time you're able to upload your product catalog, right? And by having your product catalog, it's just another interface where you can also use to promote your product. So I wouldn't say that's a benefit, but that's still something that physical products get more advantage of, having also the catalog features and be able to use catalog campaigns. I think this will be something that differentiate more. But I don't think there is a specific type. I think all types of products would work on Pinterest. It just depends on how you're creating your campaigns and what you're aiming for.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Well, those are all of our Q&As for today. So we are going to share the recording of this and the slides via email within the next day or two for everyone who came today. If you have another question, later on, maybe you're like, oh, I wish I asked this, please feel free to click on the link that is pinned in the chat right now to save for later. Drop that question in there and we'll get to you. And we just really hope you appreciated the event today. We had a wonderful time. I really appreciate you, Breno, and sharing all of your knowledge. So again, a recording will come up, and feel free to add any other ideas you might have for events in the future. Maybe there's some more stuff that you want to get more in depth with when it comes to setting up ad campaigns. We're more than happy to take suggestions and help out as much as we can. So thank you again, Breno, and thank you again, everyone. And we'll see you soon.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for the time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.